What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We out here with another Patreon request. This time we checking out Handel, music for the Royal Fireworks Overture. Now, I'm pretty sure this sounds really familiar, so I'm pretty sure I've heard it, but this will be the first time that I'm listening to it with reaction ears, you know what I mean? Trying to dissect everything. Now, I don't have a background in classical music. I have a background in jazz music, which is, for the most part, very different. But what we're going to try to do while we're listening to this is pretty much trying to describe, or I'm going to try to describe what I'm feeling and the type of emotions and stuff that this type of music brings to me, if that makes any sense. So let's go ahead, shut up and turn it up. Okay, that first phase, so this first 54 seconds. So the tone of those trumpets that we're playing, right, coupled with the cadence of the drums, it sounded like it was maybe it was like a tenor drum, maybe, possibly, I'm not sure. That kind of gives, and you see this all the time. That kind of gives that air of royalty or something of like a special. Well, I mean, this is for Royal Fireworks, but something of a the title kind of gives it away. It's royal, so but it definitely kind of gives it that air of royalty or a really really big special occasion. That kind of sucks, That kind of takes the guesswork out of it, seeing how the title is. But hopefully, when we get past more of this, I'll be able to pick out some more stuff. But that cadence, this is definitely something I can see people marching down the aisle to as well. So not necessarily always royals. It just has that upper essence about it, and I think it's that trumpet and the way that it's singing and playing in the background and kind of giving us those vibratos that really gives it like that rich high upperclassman sound, you know what I mean? So okay. So one thing that I'm learning while I'm listening to this is, of course, we're gonna have our climaxes, and then we're gonna kind of have our, not necessarily like dead zones, not necessarily dead zone as in nothing's playing. It's just that it's not as crescendoed or accented as what was playing before. Right now, obviously, this looks like it's an overture that's played while there's fireworks playing, and although you can sit there and you'll look at fireworks like, ooh, wow, the nature of this song is to help keep your attention on the fireworks, and I think they do this by climaxing and then less climax and less climax, because that helps with your attention as well as you're waiting for the next rise. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but everything exploding in the sky, right? Multiple climaxes in the song is fitting, because in fireworks you got multiple climaxes. So. Horns. It's very interesting. The when the horns came in, was might have been some trombones, maybe even I don't think it was a French horn in there. It's like trombones, possibly a tuba, maybe like a brass horn, possibly. I'm not too sure, but that was very interesting for giving it a little bit more of a warm feeling, if you will, right? Because we was hearing these trumpets, which kind of gives you that heightened sense, and then the horns come in, the brass horns come in, the lower ones, and they kind of set that ground mood. Now, what that's doing is that's setting the anticipation of the next climax, right? Now, what was also interesting is just the sense of movement that's going on in this song. When they got the trumpets, when they're flipping between the notes, that gives you that sense of that fast movement and everything. This song's doing a really, really good job at keeping your attention while I keep listening to it. Although and I know that one of these songs is meant to be listened while you're distracted, right? If you're looking at the fireworks. So I imagine the composer, Handel, which I believe that's his name, when he started composing this, he probably thought, okay, what kind of music can I put that at the same time represents the majestic art that is fireworks, but at the same time it's not overtaking all of their senses and distracting them from that. That's what I'm kind of thinking right now. Although I do wish I had listened to this without the fireworks. They're a little bit distracting. I guess I could just close my eyes. Galloping movement. Happy faces. One thing that I think is really difficult, especially as a composer, is just kind of keeping that rhythm of excitement that's going on throughout the entire musical track, right? And throughout that, maybe that last minute of just listening, it was this continuous joy the entire time when you was listening to it, and it didn't let up either. It's just a relentless assault of joy. I really like that the galloping kind of feel that it had to it. It immediately put a smile on my face, which of course the fireworks started doing a smile as well. I'm not sure if this music was played in tune to these fireworks that's going on right now, but if they were, that's pretty awesome because it's kind of governing, how you should feel, or I would like to think, somebody who analyzed this music over and over, they probably decided what colors should go where, what type of designs they should show while it's playing, or this could be just a simple random fireworks that played without any music. Now, royal fireworks, right? So I don't know how often this occurs. That's something that's new to me. You guys will let me know down in the comments if this is a song that plays once a year. Royal fireworks. So I'm thinking UK, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I could be wrong. So. Those horns push back. And the call and response. So another thing that I'm learning while I'm listening to this is, as I was telling you guys before, when we're listening to this, we're seeing like multiple rises, right, and levels of volume from the instruments that we're playing. And what I'm learning is that they're playing these eighth notes, right? And when they're doing that, it's almost kind of like that setting like a setting like a baseline, like a fundamental, where it's like you're going on a roller coaster and then you're about to go down and you got that certain thrill, but those eighth notes are kind of keeping you at that thrill level right now before the roller coaster reverses back and it throws you back down again, right? That's what I'm hearing, because it's like it'll go up and then it'll start, you can hear the background instruments, you can hear the horns, you can kind of hear the percussion and all the other instruments kind of going low, but then some of the other horns are keeping those eighth notes. It's kind of like that foundation before it rises up again, and it does this several times before it ends with that dun, 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 dun. So I find that pretty interesting. This is the scene being set up. Those fireworks are amazing. So, the way that each instruments are playing right now, they're kind of giving us that musical sense of a background and a mid-ground and a foreground. You know what I'm saying? With the horns being the background, right? And then we can kind of hear like the trumpets are like the ones that are in your face, but then there's the midsection, which I think is all the rest of the band that's playing. So giving that sense of sound, like that sound space for you to explore, also helps keep your attention. So in your face, kind of like middle ground, horns in the background. Call and response. Eighth notes, keeping that fundamental. Okay, so obviously it looks like the fireworks were still popping off even though the song was over. So that might have been royal fireworks, but it might not have been to the tune of the song. Now I'm thinking about it. I always get nervous when I'm doing reactions to this type of songs, because I don't want to sound like a complete idiot when I'm reacting to it. I do have a musical background, but as far as like playing and everything, I'm severely out of practice. All I have is what's remaining of like my music theory and composition knowledge that I've gained when I was playing my tenor saxophone. So sometimes that don't always translate depending on what I'm listening to. But hopefully I did this song a little bit, just a tiniest speck of justice by trying to dissect it. Although I know there's many other masterful composers out there who actually have a trained ear for classical music that can pick out more things on this. But as an amateur. I hope I didn't do too bad of a job. I just can't sit here and think. I can sit here and I can't imagine how you would arrange a composition like this. I imagine you have to do it in different parts. Throughout this entire overture, I can hear different type of phases, which each phase ending and marking the start of the phase when they were like dun, 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 and then it will start another one and it will have somewhat of a different sound, or it will be accommodating of like grabbing a sound from like the first phase and throwing it in here, and then with the ultimate ending, you know, everything not decrescendoing, but what's the word? I can't remember the word when he's to slow the tempo down. You guys know what I'm talking about. Coming to that ultimate climax. So I think I've heard this song in like bits and pieces, you know, when you're watching a movie and then it kind of comes in and then it fades out, because it does sound familiar, but I think this is my first time listening to it as a whole. So this was an excellent suggestion. I do like reacting to stuff like this because it kind of keeps me on my toes and it forces me to be a better reactor. I think songs like this are hard to react to because it's like, well, how do I comment on something like this? And half the time I'm sitting here, I'm telling y'all, it ain't an easy job being a reactor, man, because if you sound like crap and you don't know what you're talking about, people will call you out on it. So go easy on me. All right, y'all. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.